And now news about Salman Rushdie, the author whose writing had led to death threats from Iran in the 1980s, was attacked and apparently stabbed in the neck on Friday by a man who rushed to the stage just as Rushdie was about to give a lecture in an institution in Western New York. More details in this report.
Salman Rushdie, the author whose writing led to death threats from Iran in the 1980s, was attacked and apparently stabbed in the neck by a man who rushed on the stage as he was about to give a lecture in Western New York. An eyewitness describes seeing writer Salman Rushdie being stabbed.
And there is a amphitheater which seats about 5,000 people. And there's a lecture platform that starts at 10:45 every morning, Monday through Friday. And I was heading down into the base of the amphitheater to take a seat for the morning lecture. And a male human came and attacked Salman Rushdie. I thought that he was stabbed about 6 to 8 times before they were able to grab a hold of the perpetrator.
A bloodied Rushdie was flown to a hospital. His condition, however, was not immediately known. His agent, Andrew Wiley, said that the writer was undergoing surgery, but he had no other details. A man confronted Rushdie on stage and stabbed him 10 to 15 times as he was being introduced. The authorities did not immediately identify the attacker or offer any information on his motive. Cincinnati resident described medics rushing to the scene after writer Salman Rushdie was stabbed.
2 Chautauqua people who were on the stage with him immediately rushed to the attacker, and people jumped onto the stage from the audience to the point where there were probably 20 people on stage pulling the attacker off and keeping him contained. They called for medics at that point, and there happened to be at least 4 physicians in the audience who were able to come up on stage and help until the life squad arrived.
Rushdie's book of satanic verses had been banned in Iran since 1988, as many Muslims consider it to be blasphemous. A year later, Iran's late leader issued a fatwa, or an edict, calling Rushdie's death. Iran's government has long since distanced itself from the decree, but anti-Rushdie sentiments still lingered. In 2012, a semi-official Iranian religious foundation raised the bounty for Rushdie from 2.8 million to 3.3 million. Rushdie dismissed that threat at the time, saying that there was no evidence of people being interested in the reward. That year, Rushdie published a memoir, Joseph Anton, about the fatwa. Agency report, Republic TV.
And Salman Rushdie was stabbed multiple times. He was stabbed on his neck by the assailant even as he got ready to deliver his lecture. He was being introduced at the event in New York. The renowned author has faced multiple threats to his life throughout his career, including the 1989 fatwa issued by Iran. And it was this that had actually forced him into hiding in the first place. Here's a report.
A little after 11 a.m. New York time, reports emerged of an attack on author Salman Rushdie as he was preparing to give a lecture. Minutes later, the first respondents arrived at the scene and Rushdie was airlifted. The New York police confirmed shortly after that it was in fact an incident of stabbing where the assailant stabbed the renowned author in the neck multiple times.
And there is a amphitheater which seats about 5,000 people. And there's a lecture platform that starts at 10:45 every morning, Monday through Friday. And I was heading down into the base of the amphitheater to take a seat for the morning lecture. And a male human came and attacked Salman Rushdie. I thought that he was stabbed about 6 to 8 times before they were able to grab a hold of the perpetrator.
Born in Mumbai in 1947, the author is known for combining magical realism with historical fiction. but the author has faced considerable threats to his life throughout his illustrious career. In 1989, Salman Rushdie went into hiding after a fatwa issued against the then Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. The fatwa was issued after the release of his book in 1988, which some claimed contained satanic verses. Many accused the author of blasphemy. Several nations, including India, banned the import of the book. However, it was ironic for Iran to issue a fatwa against Rushdie, considering the author actually backed the Iranian revolution. The Iranian government backed the fatwa to kill Rushdie for 10 long years, during which he also survived an assassination attempt in August 1989. In 2010, the author was named in an Al-Qaeda hit list. And 12 years after that, in 2022, another attack on the famed author. The attack on Rushdie has sent shockwaves across the global community and has prompted a global prayer for a speedy recovery. The attacker in the incident has been detained, but the condition of Rushdie remains unknown. Agency report.